While we celebrate Women's Month and look at the great strides that women have made, we also need to take a step back and take a closer look at how mothers are treated in the workplace. Now, the Stellenbosch Business School's 2021 Women's Report confirms that women who return to work after giving birth are often punished financially for doing so. Now, being held back from promotion and other professional opportunities could cost a company up to 60% of its female workforce. According to Stats SA, women make up over half of our population naturally, but only occupy 44% of jobs. And what's more, women consistently outnumber men by 2 to 1 at an undergraduate level, and they make up at least half of postgraduate programs. But this definitely is not reflected in women in management and women on board. So let's cross now to Professor Anita Bosch, the Stellenbosch Business School's Research Chair of Women at Work, for more on this. Prof, good morning to you. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Give us some of the key findings of your study, just how women are treated when they fall pregnant.
Well, pregnancy is a natural occurrence, although when we think about the workplace, usually it's not viewed as part of work. In fact, pregnancy is often regarded as a problem to the workplace. What we're finding with women that want to re-enter, the study was specifically about moms that take some time out and then want to re-enter back into the world of work, that the hiring managers, the managers that need to hire them back, are really the key to whether they get access or not. The Employment Equity Act protects any employee, even those as part of the recruitment process, but a lot of managers have perceptions, negative perceptions about women that have taken some time out and now want to re-enter into the workplace.
Yeah, so the challenge is primarily after women have given birth, not even prior to it?
Well, prior to it, yes, absolutely. I mean, there are challenges just with regards to when you can announce, that you're thinking about planning a family, because it's not regarded as a part of a normal business process. We kind of view business as separate from life, and which we all know is not even true for men. But we keep up with this farce, and then when women do want to start with families, or perhaps need to announce that they are pregnant, there's a lot of fancy footwork that needs to happen about when to announce it, whether you announce it. We even know about this amongst domestic workers for fear of them losing their jobs if they announce their pregnancy too early on. And sometimes, for women actually hiding their pregnancies from their employers.
Yeah, I find it interesting that you raise domestic workers, because I think when we talk about pregnancy being seen as career limiting, quite often we're imagining in a corporate sense. But essentially, we're talking all through all the ranks at this point.
Yes, once you have a child, there's obviously another little one and a human being to take care of. And all of the assumptions are that you're not able to take care of your job whilst at the same time, caring for your child. There's various mechanisms that moms have used over the ages to have either other people take care of their children, or more recently, more flexible workspaces. With COVID, in any event, a lot of people have moved back home. But if we think about, for instance, domestic workers, where employers become much more open to the idea of them bringing their young children with to work. Certainly, there are certain limitations in terms of having a safe workplace, a safe environment for those children. But the women's skills remain. And in our study, what we found is we looked at women that were previously employed in the corporate sector and wanting to return. And a lot of managers and people that need to hire them have the idea that either they are very rusty in terms of their skills, or they've lost their skills, which is an interesting concept to consider. That you can once know how to do something, and then you all of a sudden, because of having a child or not being at the workplace for a few years, don't know how to do your job. That obviously is a myth, but it prevails amongst hiring managers.
Yeah, it's 2021 and people still think that way. Just largely, before I let you go, are we legislating enough then to protect women in the workplace?
Well, the question is whether more legislation will change perceptions, and I'm not convinced that that will. I think our legislation is really sufficient. It's clear. It protects even, as I've said, those individuals that are applying for jobs, not even those that are, and also those that are employed, right up to the point of exit in terms of the Employment Equity Act and discrimination. So I think it's more about the perceptions of individuals, and the more stay-at-home moms that are hired back into companies and prove their worth, the more these perceptions will change. But if we can't get back past the gatekeeper, the manager, then, there's just no way for us to increase it. There are organizations like Recruit My Mom that are in on this and have set up platforms for women and also men that want part-time work to tap into, because it's certainly a very rich skills resource that we're missing out on.
Yeah, well, clearly we really do still have a lot of work to do, but thank you so much for speaking to us. That there, Professor Anita Bosch of the University of Stellenbosch's Business School.